Hi everybody, I'm Sarah Morris, your career coach, and today we're going to look at 5 tips to help you be and look more confident. Number 1 is a visualization exercise, and this is based on the premise that actually when you think certain thoughts, your body doesn't differentiate between a thought and you actually playing out the action of that thought. So essentially your body doesn't differentiate, or your mind doesn't differentiate between thoughts that are visualized very strongly and reality. So what I'd like you to do is visualize a really confident person that you know. So it could be a fictional character or it could be a real person, but someone whose image and character you are familiar with, whether they're real or not. So just take a moment now to think about somebody who you know and who you would like to emulate as being somebody who's very confident. So once you've got that person in your mind, I'd like you to imagine you're facing that person now and they're standing right in front of you and they're looking very confident. And first of all, you're going to look at how they appear and you're going to just take in all of their appearance and just think about what it is about them that makes them look confident. So have a look at their facial expressions and also their posture, and look at that now right in front of you of that person, and try to take on those facial expressions and posture of that person. And try to visualize it really strongly, like look at the textures of their appearance, look at the colors, look at every little part of their appearance, and try to emulate that now yourself, that how they appear, including their facial expressions and their posture. Once you've done that, have a think about other senses. So for example, how they sound. So have a think about when they're talking, what is it about the way they talk and what they say and their voice that makes them appear confident. And just take that in now, or even make a few notes in front of you so that when you're going to do this in a minute, you can remember how you're going to speak, what you're going to say, and how you're going to sound that's going to make you appear confident. So just have a really strong visualization now of that person in front of you, what they look like and what they sound like, and any other things that you can sense at all, the way they're standing, the way they walk towards you, and what it is about them that makes them feel and look and appear to you confident. And just try to emulate all those things now. So if you want to press pause, you can before we move on to the next exercise. But what I want you to do now, or just after this video, is to try to emulate that person, their looks, their postures, their sounds, and everything there is about them. But want you to really strongly visualize them first, so you've got a really good sense of who they are and what makes them confident. If you want to press pause now and do this, that's fine. Otherwise, we'll move on to the next exercise. So exercise number 2 is mirror talk. So the next time you go to the bathroom or any room at all where there's a mirror, you're going to talk to yourself in a positive way. And this is based on positive psychology, which basically states that the more you think more positively, the more that will become an actual habit and make you feel more positive and happy. So thoughts lead directly to feelings. And if you can make it a habit of thinking positively, you're going to automatically do that without having to think about it. And that's going to automatically make you feel more positive without thinking about it in future. But it does have to be practiced. So from now on, for the next 2 or 3 weeks, to build these habits in your brain, every time you go to the bathroom and you're in front of a mirror or in any other room, I want you to say one thing to yourself that's positive. So you're going to talk to yourself in the mirror. If you can say it out loud, it's even better. But if you could just say it in your mind without speaking, that's okay. So it could be something really simple like, I love the shirt you're wearing today. Or that meeting we just had went really well, well done. Or you dealt with that conversation well, good job. Or something like that. Doesn't matter what it is, so long as it's a positive comment to yourself. And over time, once you speak positively to yourself, and in general, by the way, if you can implement positive speaking in all aspects of your speaking and positive thinking in all aspects of your thinking, it's going to become a habit. But one easy way to remind yourself to do it is just every time you're in front of a mirror, give yourself one positive comment. And over time, hopefully it'll become a habit. After 2 or 3 or 4 weeks, once you do that continually, you're just going to feel more positive in general. And that's really going to help with your confidence. So that's number 2. So moving on to tip number 3, I want you to look into your past now and write down any times in the past whatsoever where you have overcome a challenge. So any time that you've had a fear that you've not been confident about, but you've pushed yourself a little bit and you've achieved what you needed to do and overcome that problem and overcome your fear in the past or overcome your lack of confidence, I'd like you to write a list of those times so that when you can actually visualize this on paper, it can be really powerful to look back and see for yourself that actually you can do these things. You can overcome your fears and you can become more confident. And listing times in the past where this has happened could really help consolidate that in your mind and realize that actually you're capable of doing these things. So first of all, you're going to write this list of times in the past where you've overcome a challenging situation that you've been a bit scared about or lacked confidence in, and that you've been proud of yourself for overcoming your fears and overcoming your lack of confidence. The next thing you're going to do is write down a list of your strengths. Now, these can be personal strengths as well as professional strengths. Any strengths at all that you have, write them down. And these can be things that you might not even notice, like a love for helping others. Well, that's a strength. So write that down. So anything that's positive about yourself whatsoever, write that down. And it's all part of building a picture up in your mind of yourself as a confident person. And in fact, probably the most powerful thing you can do for this number 3, this tip number 3, is to write to 10 people you know. So send an email or a message to 10 people you know, preferably some people that you know from a work context, and ask them to give you 5 skills that they think you have. So ask them to feedback. You can just say, that you're working with a coach and the coach has asked you to do this. Or you can say, you're trying to build up a picture of yourself and would they mind just helping you trigger some ideas. And all you're going to do is ask them to feedback 5 strengths that they think you have. If you send it to 10 people, hopefully you'll get replies from most of them. And it can often bring up really surprising things that you didn't actually think about. And this is all about how you perceive yourself as lacking in confidence, but how others perceive you might be completely different, and you might be surprised in a positive way how other people actually might perceive you. So number 3 is write a list of your times in the past where you've overcome challenges, write a list of your strengths, and ask 10 people to feed back to you your strengths as well. Number 4 is to have a growth mindset. So you have to understand that whatever skills you don't have right now, you could have in the next day, week, month, or however long it's going to take. If you go into things thinking that your skills are fixed, you're good at this, but you're bad at that, then you're not going to be able to grow or do the things that you're capable of or want to do. And in reality, our brains are very malleable, and just like anything, we can learn new skills and new strengths. So if you thought it was impossible to learn a new skill when you're over 30, over 40, over 50, over 60, absolutely wrong. You can learn whatever you want to learn, and it's never been easier now with the internet and having lots of free tools to learn via the internet and other paid courses and things like that, to gain skills and gain strengths that you need to in order to move to where you want to be. So you must have a growth mindset, and you must take small steps towards getting where you want to go. So if you want to be confident at something, then work on building your skills towards being able to do that thing with confidence. and take small steps towards that. So it might be a big step to jump into something that you're not sure about and you're lacking confidence in making that change. But if you can take small steps towards that, then that's going to help build your confidence and give you positive feedback about being able to achieve small things. So if you can have that growth mindset about just doing little things that are going to help you learn and grow and get towards where you want to be, then that's going to help you. Whereas if you've got a fixed mindset and think that this is how it is, it's never going to change, well, you're not going to be able to get anywhere and move on or grow in any way. And remember that imperfect action is better than no action. So please just take small actions if they're less fearful for you. Take small actions and small steps towards your goal. And if that means learning a new skill or reaching out to people to ask them how to get to where you want to be, do that. So for number 5, the tip is to confront your fears. So you're going to actually then think about what resources and skills you've already got, or what actions you're going to take to avoid your fear actually playing out. So you need to think about the fear that's there, and that might be a real fear that you're worried about, a real consequence. But think about what resources and actions you're going to take to try to prevent that happening and put them in place. But then you also need to think about, okay, what happens if the worst happens and, you know, my fear really comes true? You know, I fall flat on my face in whatever I'm doing, my fear comes true. And then work out, you know, question number 1, is it life-threatening? I'm hoping that the answer to that is no. And therefore, the next question is going to be, if this worst thing is to happen, again, what am I going to do to overcome it and move on? And come up with a list of things. If the worst is to happen, what positive things am I going to take out of it? And what actions am I going to take to move on, put it behind me and move forward? And hopefully, in any case, it will serve as a lesson. So rather than being a loss, it's just a lesson, and it's one more step towards helping you know where you want to go. So I hope these tips have been useful. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and join my Facebook group. And I'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye.